What's up, guys? Houseside Broadcasting come back to you guys live again tonight, and we're doing another live setup build. So we're gonna be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway tonight in the Xfinity cars for my only league I'm currently in right now. I have close to a week to get this car ready, and I figured y'all deserve another live setup build, since I really haven't done a whole lot of them, and that's kind of what this channel's been about, and the subject of the channel has kind of been changing slowly recently, and I don't really want that to happen. I kind of want it to stay, about NASCAR Heat 5 setups, but I'm running out of setups to give you guys, and there's only so many tracks and so many series on this game, and because most of my cup setups are in my Xfinity and truck cars with minor tweaks, and I'm not a dirt guy, there's really only so many setups I can give you guys. So it doesn't look like I have a setup. I thought I did, but I must not have a setup. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build one. Live setup build, right from scratch. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. My first one was over a year ago, so we've been doing this a good long time now. And once again, you guys deserve it, and I'm excited to see what kind of a lap we can put together. Short, long run car gears are going to be a big factor. Not sure if I'm going to need to save gas. I've done absolutely no practice, and I have no setup, so you guys are going to see exactly how I start my cars, and I don't really need to explain anything. I've already done that in previous videos. I'm just going to do and see what works. So first off, we're going to do 5 shocks, keep the car pretty even. And we're going to start out with very low front weight. Let's just try it. Start out with low front weight. We're going to go high wedge. I feel like a good number here is in the 52s. Or some odd reason I'm going to go 53.4. We're going to try that. And then we're going to go 4 on the ride heights. We're going to keep the springs pretty normal. The front springs anyway. There's only really so much you can do with the front springs. We'll go 1200 and then... We'll keep them both at 1200. We'll try it. Let's go ahead. We'll try it. I feel like that keeps the car balanced pretty well. And I feel like 530 and 580 rear springs works well. I feel like you get loose at the end of the run. So we're going to go 530 and 570. Let's try that. Got to get them tire pressures up there. I'm not going to put them as high as what you guys would expect. We're going to go 52.50. Just to try it. I know it's kind of exact, but I promise you guys I'm not basing this off of anything. We're just going to try it. Those left side tire pressures are going to need to be a little bit higher than 18, especially for a big track like this. So let's go ahead and let's make these. We'll go 2150 in the rear, and we'll go 20 on the front here. Cambers, we'll go 3.8. I know I'm kind of being exact to start off. -2. We'll just go -2. Normal sway bar. Looking at the wedge and the springs. What I'm gonna start. We'll start my track bars at 13. Why not? Brake bias. We'll go 75. We'll go 75. We'll go 40 for the grill tape. Yeah, we'll go 40 for the grill tape. Let's try it. 5 for the wheel lock. No steering offset. And we're going to start off with the gears being normal gears. And then we'll change the gears later. I don't even know what's a good time here, to be honest with you. Cup cars, 50.3 probably, 50.4. Not sure exactly full fuel. Maybe lower than that, I'm not sure. Maybe higher, I don't know. So Xfinity cars, we're going to aim for a 50.8. I know I think that's really fast in an Xfinity car. A 50.8. So we'll aim for a 51 flat. I'm already telling you I'm gonna need gearing. Yep, too high at gearing. Oh wow, it's tight. Okay. For a second I thought it was gonna be loose, but it's very tight. I also gotta get used to driving this track. We're very tight. Okay, we're very, very tight. And the only thing that's really low right now, track bars. 92 at the line. Lift early, get back in the gas. Try to keep her out of the wall. We already got in the wall. Alright, we're too tight. We're way too tight. Half a round on the track bars, baby. I think we're gonna need to go up on that front weight. Low front weight at a track like this, I don't think works so well. We're gonna roll with it though. We'll make a couple setups if we really need to. This is just a live setup build. We're gonna try whatever and see what works. I know a high sway bar works here. But I'm not a fan of running high sway bars. I'm just not a fan of it. I really won't go any higher unless I have to than a 1585. I don't even like doing that. Some like dirter setups like that, I'm not sure. We're gonna need to get on the gas sooner than that, so we're still tight. It's alright, it's all good. I'm actually gonna be quiet so I can concentrate. I don't need to make this. I'm not really trying to explain anything, I'm just building a setup live for you guys, so I don't really need to talk. So just watch how I build my setup. Try to learn something. Get that out of the wall that time. This is slow. This is so slow. Oh my goodness. It feels slow anyway. Alright, well, there's no chance this is a 50. I definitely gotta learn this track again. .51.2. So we definitely got some work to do. We're gonna change this setup a lot though. So to open up at a 51.205. With the kind of a lap that was, and to open up at a 51.205, and we literally just started on this setup, I see at least 3 more tenths, which would put us at a low 50.9, so potentially 50.8. I mean, this thing is just not turning in well at all. And I can tell you it's going to get loose later in the run coming out, so this setup's absolute garbage. But that's why it's not a complete setup. Okay. All good. Try that. See, I made an adjustment on the gearing. I'm gonna do more than that for the gears, obviously. I don't like this gearing at all. I don't even look at what the wheel lock's at, but I'm thinking I'm gonna need to go up on it. We're gonna get a good run coming out of this turn coming to the line here. This will probably be 193 at the line. .194. I want to say we was 192. Tight again. I want to say I was 192 though when I hit my best lap, so let's see what we can do here. Ah man, now I'm not gonna get a good accuracy on this lap, and it takes long to get around this track. Oh my goodness, okay. Okie dokie. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Probably scrap the setup completely. That'll probably be what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm thinking about touching the track bars here. Alright, well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do right here. I'm just gonna minor tweaks on the shocks, minor tweaks on the front weight. We need to go way down on this wedge, and then I'm going to adjust the rear springs and front springs to or work with that low front weight, or wedge, I'm sorry, I can't speak. We're gonna end up burning that left front too much. I forget this track burns the left front a lot more than what normal ovals do. I told you I was gonna keep the tire pressure a little lower, but we'll do that for the lefts. We're gonna put these rates up there pretty good. See, I told you guys we're gonna make a whole bunch of setups tonight. I'm already overhauling the entire setup, and that's because it's not good. And I didn't see much happening with it anytime soon. I don't want this to be a 20-hour long video. We'll leave that guy. Touched a lot right there. We did touch a lot of things right there, but most of it was small adjustments, like the front weight 2 clicks, 1 click on 2 of the rear shocks. You know, tire pressures was a little bit bigger of an adjustment. The biggest adjustment, though, was the rear springs for sure and the wedge. Track bars were minor, that's pretty minor. So, well, it's really going to be seeing what did the rear springs and the wedge do. That's really going to be, because I don't remember what my cup setup is here. Still tight, good, wait, okay. But that's a little free off. I need to reverse that. If I reverse, ooh, look at that rotation there, baby. Alright. Not sure if I like this either. Hard in the wall. Alright, much better on exit. And I lifted a little earlier. There, you know, it's a little free on entry now. I see much more potential in this, because the car's actually rotating, you know what I mean? Let's see what this does right here. Alright. Lifting early going into these long turns, I believe, is going to be the key. These turns right here, you kind of want to stay in the gas as long as you can. These little turns. That's what you want to call them. Okay. Tires, they're iffy, but by the end of this lap, they're not going to be very good. Oh, look at that. We can't seem to get good rotation just in that one turn. And it's probably me. It may not be, but it's probably me. So if I can get it down, I'll probably start getting a little bit better at lap times. You kinda gotta get your short run decent before you can even think about the long run. 51 flat, so that's good. So we definitely have a 50.9 in this car. Ooh, good turn right there. Well, Oh, got the wall. Tell you what I'm going to do. Oh, never mind. Yep, got the wall. I was going to anyway. I like the way this feels. I do. But there's something to it that I feel I can get more speed out of. I really don't know what's a good lap here, so I don't know if I should be proud of a 51.0 or if that's absolute trash, or I really have no idea. I'm aiming for a 50.8, but who knows if this car is even gonna last, you know what I mean? There's so much work we have yet to do in this car. So much work. Tell you what I might do, and that's run with some of my guys, if that's what you want to call it, and maybe give you guys full access. Not sure if I want to do that. Give you guys full practice access, of course, but no. Okay, we got, ooh, flicker 195 though, that was really good. You see how early I lifted? I didn't get a good entry mark, so that this lap is busted. 195, that's what we were right there. So we want to be 195. That's what we want. I'm lifting too early going into the turns, and I kind of lose the car on entry, and it kind of gets loose. But then if I send it in, it gets super tight. So once again, that's driver. This is our track to run. You know what I mean? But, give me a minute here. Just give me a minute, and, we'll see what we can do here. Okay. Go ahead and run here. Right there's a good lifting point. Right, if you guys seen, I lifted right at that, right when the line changed to red is where I lifted. Right there I lift before I kind of get into the turn I lift, but I'm kind of already turning the wheel, but you're not quite in the turn yet. I gotta try to find a mark to show you guys. Not quite 195 with the line, so that's, oh, see I got loose once again going into the turn. What's up, Billy? Yo, I'm live streaming right now for Highside, and I'm trying to figure my way around Indianapolis. I'm not exactly sure what's a good lap. This looks like a decent lap, though. And I missed my entry point going into the third turn again. Full fuel. My goal was to try to get in the 8s. So, now we know it's a good lap here, 50.7. Good grief. There's another 51 flat. I've got some work to do with this car. Well, right there, guys, if you've seen the rear end kind of rotated before my front end did, and it kind of hooked me around the turn, that's kind of what you want. But then you see in that turn 2 it gets a little tight. But once again, that's probably me just getting in the gas a little soon. You can already see the tires are burning up quite a bit, and you only get one lap. And I missed this turn again. If I can get that third turn down, I can potentially pick up another 10th. I'm gonna go up on the wheel lock. And I need to adjust the gearing too. That could be part of it, but I really don't see another 3/10 in this car, guys. This might be all you're getting. This isn't a horrible lap. You also gotta see, I'm in the 51 flats, but I just started working on this. I'm trying to learn the track, build a setup from scratch, and not make this video hours long, and it's not getting me good lap times. trying to live stream for these guys a live setup build, and we're not exactly getting great times. I know I've hit a 50.8 here full fuel on heat 4, but I've never had a record lap here on heat 5, so I guess I've never run here in Xfinity. But we know... 50.5. Yeah, so is mine on heat 4. So alright guys, so that's something to note right there. I'm not exactly sure what I did coming out of that final turn, getting up to speed, but I was 2 miles slower at the line. Usually I flicker about 195, and you guys see I barely got 193 right there. So whatever this lap is, we can already tell it should be probably half a tenth quicker, maybe a tenth. That also depends on my line, on how good I hit these turns. It looks like I'm making decent time, and I just killed the 3rd turn again, so I gotta get that down. I think I need to lift a little earlier going into the 3rd turn. I'll get a little bit better of an entry point, which will then help my exit and bump the apron there and turn 4 as well. So this lap shouldn't be anything good. Yeah, 51.1. So that probably costs us 2 tenths right there. So there's definitely a 50.9 in this car. But like I said, I really need to get my line down a little bit better. But for a live, what happened? Full fuel. Alright, so guys, this setup is not one to take, I don't believe. I know there's at least one more setup that I can try, for sure. It's a high sway bar setup, and I told you guys earlier, high sway bar does work here. If you have high shocks and high track bars, that can work here. But you guys know with the way that I drive, and I don't exactly like a high sway bar. But for a big track like this or Pocono, high sway bars I've noticed work better here than normal tracks. I'm sure Billy has input on that.
Yeah, I got a high sway bar set up here as well. This is a 1.5.
Yeah, because if you guys seen about a year ago when I put my other cup setup on YouTube, my sway bar was actually, I forget if it was a 1.8 or if it was a 2000, but I know it was up there, and I was actually getting really good lap times. It was the best Indy setup I ever driven, and I put in my Xfinity car and it was flying. And obviously I'm running a 1.5 right now. I can go ahead and switch to that setup now and try it, and we could potentially find more success, but I do think there's a little bit more speed in the one I got here. And obviously you guys will have plenty of setups to choose from because this is a live setup build. So maybe this one works better for you. There is a 50.953, and we did bump the apron, so that's probably half a tenth. So we still need about another 2 tenths in this car. But we finally broke into the 50s, so that's nice. We're going to keep working on it, though. This lap doesn't look horrible either, but as we've seen previously, tires are gone after the first lap. There, I got my mark better in the 3rd turn. I can't imagine what the aero draft is going to be in these turns. Yeah, you're gonna get so aero tight. You think you get aero tight a mile and a half? A fast, flat track like this, you've never seen an aero tight before. 50.854. So that right there was pretty much a perfect lap around Indy with this setup. We hit our goal time. That was our goal, 50.8. As we know, Billy's in the 7s apparently. Almost in the 6s actually, but who knows if this car lasts. It probably does. But this one handles pretty nicely, so this one will probably last. So this is a good setup. Obviously, we got to adjust the gearing, but, you know, Billy's in the 7, so it's a driver's track, so there could be a 7 in this. Who knows, there could be a 4 in it, you know, if you have the right driver, you know, but a 50.8, it's not a bad lap, you know, especially with the way this thing handles. It's handling really nicely right now, which is good for the long run, but obviously the handling changes, but it's always good to have a good setup that handles and has speed. So that was lap 3 right there, and we hit a 51.0. So that's 3 laps, 51.0, 50.9, and 50.8. So I really don't want to adjust anything on this. This might be pretty good for you guys. I try to give out, you know, fast setups for you guys, and I try to give out setups that handle, you know, but obviously I drive my cars a little looser myself, and, you know, I've had people tell me my setups are fast but loose, and then others that some handle. And I will say this one handles nicely. I'm on a wheel, so if you're on a wheel with right settings, this thing should be fine. But I like this. This handles, and obviously you guys see what lap we got right there. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more run for you guys, and then I'm probably gonna close it out unless I make an adjustment trying to find more speed. I have yet to adjust the gearing, I know that. I might update you guys later on gearing. There, right there. So you guys seen I got tight coming out of that 4th turn. Let's see how fast we are at the line. Alright, exactly. So we were 193 at the line. So in my opinion, there's no reason to even run this lap. Because we seen earlier, I flickered. I was able to get to 195 right before the line. You guys seen that earlier. And then I had bombed the 3rd turn, and I think I had hit the apron in the 4th turn, and that was when I was first starting. So if you get a good exit coming out of that 4th turn, getting up to speed, you kind of want to be 195 at the line. But then you're going to be going faster going into the turn, so you want to lift a little earlier. But a little tip is lift early going into these turns. Don't think sending it in's gonna get you any speed. I mean, right there I lifted a little late, kind of rode the middle line. Wasn't horrible, but I mean, alright, right here, turn 4. This was a perfect turn 4. So if this isn't 195 at the line, then we have some adjusting to do on the setup for sure. So let's see what we get right here. Alright, we were 194, so not horrible. Better than 193. Good turn 1. And who knows, it might be the gearing. I mean, I've done basically nothing with the gearing so far. So we can definitely adjust the gearing. Probably put a 3-speed in, get a little bit better time. Who knows, maybe it'll run higher RPMs, get better kick going into the turn. Turn 3, lift early. Push tight a little bit in center. This will probably be a 50.9. And that's if I hit this turn 4 nicely. Very nicely. Oh, tight coming off. This shouldn't be a horrible lap. .9, called it. Low 9. Good turn right there. Maybe there might be a high 7 in this, and I'm being realistic. So I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to make an adjustment because I am a little tight going into the turn. But if you guys see my rear springs, they are super low. I mean, I don't run low springs like this anywhere except for a road course. I mean, all the way down to 410. So that's part of the reason I'm not getting good rotation going in. But with the high track bars and low wedge, it kind of counteracts it. You know, middle sway bar kind of counteracts against the low springs like that. Which then is the whole reason I'm not just super tight. You know, it's kind of a combination of things. And that's exactly why the handling is so good. Because I've got a middle sway bar. I feel like a middle sway bar will give you good handling right off the bat. And you kind of want to make your setup around that. Around whatever you have your sway bar set. So if you have like a high sway bar, you're going to want like higher track bars, higher springs. But I have a middle sway bar. So you see my rear springs are really low. So then I got high track bars, and you guys can see my wedge is all the way down under 51. It's like 50 point something. So you guys can see that. Try to concentrate, get a good line here. This should be decent coming to the line here. And maybe we'll do a test online. Maybe I'll just leave that up to you guys to do a test online with it. There, right there, 195 at the line. That was perfect. Lifted a little too soon going into the turn. Should get a decent run off there. turn 2, about knocked the wall down. I don't like that safer barrier there. Third turn is the death of me. That could have been better. I have yet to hit the third turn just next to perfect. But the fourth turn seems to be one of my best turns, unless I'm getting up to speed, obviously. Then I seem to blow it. But this should be once again in the 50s. Should be. 51 flat, alright. And that was 195 at the line. And we were 2/10 off our best time. Let me go in here. I made one adjustment on the rear springs. That's all I did. So it definitely shouldn't have killed the car. Be crazy if it did. But one click on both the rear springs definitely shouldn't have done nothing traumatic. Billy, have you run all mine yet? You haven't. Because we know these cars get super loose at the end of the run. The rear end kind of just wants to keep rotating around, and that's why it's so hard to get a car that's good on the short run and then have a car that lasts. And that's because these, you got these long straightaways and you build up so much speed, and then the turns are so flat and you're trying to carry the speed through these flat turns. It just keeps carrying all the way out of the turn, and your rear end just, once you lose tire wear, just wants to come around. So, you know, obviously this track gets super loose, and that's kind of why you can't just wing it on a setup, because your long run's going to be horrible. 193 at the line there again. But the turn 1 and turn 2 were very good turns. And as you know, hitting your marks is much more important than 2 miles an hour at the line. It'll be nice to have that 2 miles an hour at the line and hit your marks. Lifted a little early in turn 3. Still pushed up a little bit. So I gotta try to do turn 3 like I'm doing turn 1. Turn 4, that was a pretty good turn. So right there, I was only 193 at the line, and we couldn't even break a 50. And I will say I hit my marks fairly well. So to only run a 51 flat, you know, that's a safer barrier kills me. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go back on the adjustment, since it was a small adjustment, but I mean, we haven't improved our time any. So like Billy just said, you know, 195 and he got in the 7s, that's with his setup. We were 193, 194, we got in the 8s. But when we're 195 at the line, you gotta think you're going into the turn faster, so you kinda gotta lift a little earlier, and you're gonna get a better run coming out of the turn. And you have so much momentum going into the turn, it's kind of like a perfect combination. So, being 190, if you're 195 at the line, I mean, without draft, you're not going to get any faster than that. Unless you're doing low fuel, obviously. But, I'm going to try to concentrate here to not talk, and try to get you guys a realistic lap. There's 194. It's all about your line. Alright, well, we'll restart that, because that safer barrier coming out of the second turn tail whipped it. Man, I'll tell you one thing, if that safer barrier wasn't there, you could get in the gas sooner and push up, and, you know, the wall would be there, and I mean, it's a couple feet, that safer barrier. If that safer barrier wasn't there, I guarantee people would be in the 50.5s, 4s. Guarantee it. You'd be able to get in the gas sooner and you push up to the wall, but instead you're pushing up to the safer barrier, and you hit the safer barrier. If the safer barrier wasn't there, you wouldn't hit anything. You'd be able to get in the gas sooner. Good rotation. Try to get a good run coming to the line here. Start out the lap. And 94. .885. Alright, so right there was a 50.885. That was a fairly good lap, I'd say. But, I really didn't get anything better than a 50.8, so maybe that's all this car has. You guys can try it. This is all I'm gonna put out there for now. Not gonna make any more adjustments on it. Hopefully you guys like the setup, and for now, this is what the setup looks like, and I'm sure it will get changed, and I'll have to update you guys later. But till next time, peace out. Appreciate everybody for watching, and see you guys next time.